responsible AI is not only about regulatory compliance. There is a baseline accuracy. Ensuring that our AI systems are accurate or robust is essential. So what we have done is analyze and assess the maturity of the responsible AI assessment and analyze the gaps. The most important initiative is to involve the legal teams early in the design phase.
Hi, are you interested in AI and would like to know how to apply it in business? I'm Gosia, and as the host of the AI at Scale podcast by Schneider Electric, I invite AI practitioners and experts to share their experiences, challenges, and AI success stories. Our podcast features real AI solutions and innovations. Welcome, this is Gosia Górska, the host of the Schneider Electric AI at Scale podcast. Today I meet Ania Kaci, Senior Principal, Responsible AI Leader from Schneider Electric. Welcome, Ania.
Hello, Gosia. Hello, everyone. I'm delighted to join you today.
Yeah, I'm super happy as well. So, Ania's journey in AI has been quite an interesting ride. After completing her PhD in AI, she spent several years building and architecting AI systems. Then she's been leading technical teams. But what really caught her attention was seeing how these powerful tools were being deployed in the real world. That led her to her current focus, operationalizing responsible AI practices. She has been helping organizations understand how to build AI that's not just powerful, but also trustworthy and aligned with human values, combining cutting-edge technology with real-world impact. Today, she's in charge of responsible AI strategy definition and operationalization for Schneider Electric. Then, what is one thing that I didn't mention, Ania, but it's important to know you better?
Yeah, so there are two things. The first one is that I'm proud to co-lead Women in AI, a non-profit organization dedicated to closing the gender gap in AI. Our work focuses on creating pathways for women to enter and thrive in the AI field because diverse teams build better and more equitable systems. And the second thing is that I teach AI ethics at Sciences Po, where the main goal is to help the next generation understand the profound responsibility we have when we develop these powerful systems.
Exactly. So we talked to the right person today. And my first question is actually about your personal journey, because I was curious, how did you find yourself in the middle of AI governance and risk management? How you became a responsible AI leader? What sparked your passion for this topic?
Well, my path to becoming a responsible AI leader has been shaped by both my technical foundation and evolving awareness of AI's impact. I began with an engineering degree followed by a PhD in AI, which gave me the technical expertise to understand these systems from the ground up. Then I spent several years as an AI delivery manager, working across diverse sectors, where I witnessed how AI solutions transform industries but also create new challenges. And the turning point came when I joined a big tech company as a responsible AI leader. There I developed frameworks to ensure AI systems were not just powerful, but also fair, transparent, and robust. And I addressed complex questions about bias, privacy, and societal impact, questions that often had no simple answers.
Yes, and I expect that we will talk a bit about the frameworks and the structures in today's conversation. So could you walk us through your current AI governance structure? Who is involved, how decisions are made, and how accountability is maintained? Because for the listeners, as you may already discovered in the past episodes at Schneider Electric, we have a dedicated organization called AI Hub that is developing AI solutions for our customers, but also for Schneider internal functions. So Ania is actually part of the team who is managing responsible AI governance. And she is actually very well placed to tell us a bit more how this is organized at Schneider.
So our AI governance structure consists of three key components working together, of course. The first component is a responsible AI committee, which sets the vision and the strategic direction for our AI policies, comprising executive leaderships who make high-level decisions about critical AI systems and AI application boundaries. And then the Responsible AI Office, which includes diverse experts from compliance, policy, legal, technical, and SME, who serve as the bridge between the strategy and the implementation. And the Responsible AI team, which I'm leading, which handles day-to-day implementation and support the AI risk assessments, the monitoring of AI system, and ensure compliance with the regulations and established guidelines. And the accountability is maintained through regular reviews, documentation of decisions, and metric tracking around a responsible AI performance against established and well-known benchmarks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and as you may hear, there are several parts into it, and what is particularly interesting for me is that you actually have also legal people inside the team, so you can ensure that from the very beginning, from the conception of a given AI use case, you are having the right people in place to advise if we actually can develop further this application, how does it relate to the current legislation. So this is, I think, quite important to highlight. But if we take a closer look to specific risk assessment frameworks, do you use some specific framework in relation to deploying AI?
Yes, as you said, we involve different people, different teams to create these AI risk assessments and conduct them. So to fully address all the potential AI risks, we need expertise from the business so that we ensure that we fully identify the risk that goes beyond the AI system or the AI feature. So we need to assess the technical risks and the impact of the AI system, which is most of the time embedded into existing AI applications or products. So our AI risk assessment process includes several dimensions. So a framework which evaluates, as I said earlier, technical risks on reliability, robustness, ethical consideration, on fairness and transparency, for example, and then the impact assessment, which analyze potential effects on stakeholders. And for our sector and our services and what we propose to our customers, we include energy system safety and operational continuity for industrial automation, for example. And then the evaluation is based on a risk level. So with higher risk applications for critical infrastructure, for example, or safety systems, we have undergoing more rigorous reviews, including escalation, where we define escalation process. So first review will be done with the risk AI team. Then we can escalate to the responsible AI office, and for most critical applications to the responsible AI committee. And then we have a domain-specific checklist tailored to energy management and industrial automation context and standards. And we conduct a regular reassessment throughout the AI system lifecycle. So we start what we call the AI risk screening early in the design phase, and then we keep assessing to ensure that we identify the AI risk and we put in place the right mitigation to ensure an effective management of the potential AI risks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And when you say we, what do you mean exactly? I'm very curious who exactly is involved in this risk assessment evaluation.
Yeah, so the responsible AI team has the role of oversight. So we do have the expertise on what are the potential risk of AI systems, but it's a team effort. It's a teamwork. So everyone is involved: the AI hub, and the business, and the compliance, legal, and as I said earlier, we have an escalation process. So first, we have the product manager who conduct the AI risk assessment with the business. business, and then we review as a responsible AI team the results and ensure that we don't miss any question, any information, and we clearly specify what is the intended use of the system, because it's really impact the level of risk. And then we conduct reviews from SMEs and legal and compliance and the responsible AI office to have different and diverse perspectives and ensure that we fully address all the potential risk of a given AI system.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and what's really captured my attention is the fact that you mentioned that business is involved alongside the whole process, the evaluation of the risks, because they are the ones who know the customer. They are the ones who know exactly how the product will be used, in which context. So I guess it's quite important to have also their perspective. And this is what I've been reading about, that some of the systems, they are launched into production and then we face some challenges or even risks that the team developing the application didn't think about, just because they were a group of data scientists. And from technical perspective, there was no risk, but they didn't know exactly how the application will be used in production, in real life. And this is what actually was causing the risk that they were not able to think about, to imagine. So I guess that you are exactly hitting this point and mitigating the fact, the potential risks related to the fact that we would have only data scientists working on it. No, here we have also business people, right?
Yeah, exactly. We need to have diverse perspectives. And for AI risk, most of the AI risks that we see today are more traditional AI risk, I would say. So it's applicable for all the classic software and traditional software around the safety, security of AI systems. So we rely on the existing AI risk frameworks and expertise around this risk management. And then, of course, we identify what is basically amplified by AI technologies and generative AI mostly. And what is new is more on the bias, the fact that these AI systems are non-deterministic, so we can face bias. And in the data, the historical data that we use to train these models, bias in the validation of the process with the over-reliance on the AI outcome. So we need to bring together around the table all the expertise, the business, the technical experts, and the legal and compliance to ensure that we are aligned with the risk management that we have within Schneider, and we are fully addressing these known AI risk. And one important also initiative is the engagement with external stakeholders, the ecosystem, the standards bodies, to work on how to translate the legal obligation into technical standards to ease the implementation and ensure that we fully operationalize responsible AI in a way to answer the regulatory obligations and ensure AI risk management.
Talking about standards and regulations, how has your approach to AI governance evolved as regulations like the European Union AI Act have developed over time?
So what we have done is a responsible AI maturity assessment to analyze the practices that we have around responsible AI. So responsible AI is not only about regulatory compliance. There is a baseline accuracy, ensuring that our AI systems are accurate or robust is essential. So what we have done is analyze and assess the maturity of the responsible AI assessment and analyze the gaps. And starting from that, we identified the potential gaps. And I think the most important initiative is to involve the legal teams early in the design phase, while the work was at the end, right before the deployment, where they work on the contractual clauses and how to engage with the customers. So here we have them early in the design phase to ensure that we fully interpret and understand the regulation and see how to translate them into more practical and concrete actions to put in place.
So we have covered the regulatory compliance. You mentioned about involving business, colleagues from legal, and so on. But if we look then into the practice, into putting the application into production, do you have any specific practices implemented to make AI systems more transparent and explainable? Because I guess after discussing the risks, which is like one area, one hot topic for everyone, the second one is, okay, once you put it into production, how do you make sure that it's explainable and transparent? As you mentioned, these systems are non-deterministic. So what can we do about it?
The first step about the AI risk is to ensure that we identify the right level of risk, and depending on the level of risk, for low risk optimization, for example, like lighting controls, we can move faster. For medium risk applications like predictive maintenance, we require extensive parallel testing. And for some critical systems that could affect core infrastructure, for example, we'll mandate what we call a shadow deployment. And for shadow deployment, so that the operators and end user can understand and validate the output of the system, we worked on what we call system cards. So think of them as detailed ID cards for each AI system. And I will give you an example. For hallucination is a real challenge. When we want to deploy generative AI, for example, an ID card is part of our AI governance strategy, where we design it to be a comprehensive tool for managing both responsible AI and ethical AI. So it basically provide an overview of the AI system, which is a common way for all stakeholders to speak, understand, and assess the AI system. And we are transparent. We document the performance of the AI system, the KPI that we use, the success criteria, the limitations of the system, what is the data flow, what is the level of human oversight depending on the level of risks. We ensure that everyone has the right knowledge of the AI system, the risks as well. And early in the design phase, we ask the users which information and explanations do they need to better understand the outcome and adopt the AI systems.
Yeah, so this is definitely very helpful. But how about people who are really non-technical? And is there any way that you can balance this technical complexity with the need for transparency of people who are really not that familiar with all the technical details of AI systems?
One solution is really to have this governance structure with a diverse background and expertise. So we ensure it's like a test internally. When we present the frameworks and the work of the responsible AI team at the responsible AI office, we ensure that we don't use too technical terms and descriptions. So we test it and we validate the templates with all the stakeholders and all the people involved in the responsible AI office. And then once we validated these templates and the level of information needed to be transparent and explain the system and how it works, then we move forward and we deploy what we created as frameworks. But the goal is to have these validation steps and ensure that all the stakeholders understand what we are talking about. So it's quite challenging because technical teams tend to use descriptions that are too technical, but we work all together to simplify. And it's part of the awareness. We need to simply explain what are the potential of AI and what are the risks. So we ensure that we identify the potential risks for the AI applications that we use in our daily work.
I can imagine that also some additional activities that we have implemented in the company are helping in this kind of discussions, like any kind of AI literacy programs that we implemented in the organization. Do you see that this is really helping, that we speak the same language, and even if you have non-technical teams involved in the application development, that you start to speak the same language, they start to understand exactly what are the limitations, what are the benefits of AI.
Yes, it's important to not focus on policies, processes, and technology while neglecting people and education and culture, which is really important. So, without driving this cultural change, the responsible AI framework and initiatives will be ineffective. So, we need to drive this cultural change, and people across Schneider Electric need to understand why responsible AI matters for them, why they should care about the potential risks of AI and how they can do the right thing. So our role as a responsible AI team is to educate, upskill and empower our colleagues on how to develop and use AI responsibly. So it's our top priority. And we have several programs. We have training for technical teams, for business, for leaders, and for all employees. And we also put in place awareness sessions and coffee discussions and work to create playbooks on responsible AI and some cheat sheet and guidelines to ensure that everyone has the right knowledge and information about AI and AI risks.
Yeah, I can imagine that this is really helping a lot. And if we look ahead, what emerging responsible AI challenges will require even greater industry-wide collaboration? You mentioned a bit about involving different external teams as well, discussing, sharing about the standards, about the regulations. So if you look at the current landscape of AI systems, new AI models, what is the emerging AI challenge that you see?
AI is evolving rapidly, the regulatory landscape as well. So we need to engage and to continuously do this watching of what is going on and what are the new technologies. Are there any additional risks that we don't tackle? And of course, engaging with the stakeholders and our peers, especially because they do have the same challenges. They are working on the same AI systems is really important and crucial because we are here to exchange, to learn together, and engaging with standards entities and bodies is really important because we can understand and interpret the regulations and understand what are the AI risks, but we do need to translate them into concrete actions to operationalize effectively. So we need to work all together. We have some engagement like Impact AI, which is a non-profit organization where we are engaged with big tech companies and other companies working on the same sectors or different sectors to share experiences and knowledge and create these guidelines because at the end the goal is to ensure that AI is used and developed effectively. So yeah, it's really important to work all together.
While listening to you, I imagine that your work is very meaningful, and I can hear the passion in you for these topics. My final question would be looking at your AI journey so far, what has been the most meaningful to you personally?
Throughout my journey, I became increasingly convinced that responsible AI requires diverse perspectives. That's why I'm teaching AI ethics and co-leading women in AI, which is really important for me. These are opportunities to both share what I've learned so far and what I'm still learning and learn from others with different experiences. The gender gap in AI is not just an equality issue, it's a quality issue for the system that we build. So that's really important for me is to continuously involve women and have more women in AI and diverse team to ensure that we have fair and transparent and inclusive AI systems. So that's the main challenge. I think we have challenges around understanding and implementing the regulatory obligations and working together with our peers to really understand and translate them into concrete actions. But the one challenge that really working on is this diversity, how to ensure diversity and close the gender gap in AI.
Okay, thank you so much, Ania. I wish you a lot of success in your mission. I think it's really worth following and worth supporting. We all need AI systems that are responsible, that are ethical, and we need diverse teams to be able to build that. So thank you so much for this conversation. It was very insightful.
Thank you, Gosia. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us today on AI at Scale podcast. Be sure to visit our se.com/AI website and learn more about our AI at Scale solutions. Head over to our Schneider blog platform to read more. Don't forget to subscribe to the show on your preferred platform and share it with your network. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for the next episode.